Many people ask me how I found my first job in the film industry. It took me 5 months to land my first job in the film industry. I had no contacts in this industry except for a few seniors from college. Finding a job wasn't easy at all because film jobs aren't really publicly listed anywhere. They're not on LinkedIn, they're not on any other platform. Most people break in only when they're referred by a trusted professional. Most of my job searches were futile as none of these people were hiring in the first place. And to add to my problem, I had no strong referrals, I had no connections at all. But one of my friends was kind enough to help me land this unpaid job errand of sort for a producer. I had to do location recce for a shoot. That project never really took off, but the producer was kind enough to help me find the job. He had assisted this big director in the past, so I asked if he could forward my resume to that director. The producer kindly obliged, but I never heard from him after that. 4 months later, I gave up and went back to my hometown to take a break and reflect on my life choices. But one afternoon, out of the blue, that producer called me up to inform me that the big director had finally seen my profile and he wanted to meet me. He connected me with the director's EA. Next day, I quickly flew back to Bombay to meet the director at his office, only to be informed that I'll have to wait for a few more days because the director was busy at the time. Okay, so I waited. Not just for days, but for weeks. And then one day I was finally invited to the office. I waited for 3 hours but couldn't meet the director that day too because he was busy. I had to go back home and wait for another week and a half before they invited me again. The next time, I waited for another 2 hours in their office before the director finally saw me. He asked me the most unrelated questions. Where do I live? What do my flatmates do? What job my father has? How many people at home? Etc. etc. And then the director mentioned that he was excited to see one of my short films, but he had to leave for another meeting that day. So I waited the entire evening, only to be informed that the director wouldn't be back anytime soon, and I should leave. 2 more weeks passed before I received another call. I rushed to the office with my laptop, hoping that I'll finally get to show my short film to him. But the director had other plans. He was about to start working on this new script. Sitting next to him was one of my most favorite, much celebrated dialogue writers in our country. The director told me to sit down and take notes as he started narrating the script. I thought it was some kind of test I had to pass, but then it seemed like just another regular work day for them. Soon the director deviated from the narration and started talking about football with the dialogue writer. And then they asked me if I liked football, and I said I didn't. You're fired from the job then. The director retorted jokingly. And that's how I found out that I had the job. Cheers guys, see you in the next video, bye bye.